Hey Most Amazing Top 10 family, I'm your host Jay Rain and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. Talk about being a wolf in sheep's clothing. Whoa, monsters pretending to be a person is a tale as old as time. Throughout mythologies and throughout history, there have been some beasts who want to pull a fast one over you in order to get their greasy little palms on something. We are going to dig through time to pull out some of these stories, and we might even have some contemporary stories to throw on the list. Well, I think actually a lot of them are going to be contemporary because that's the way I like to roll. And the first one was older monsters too, so let's do some more recent ones on this one. With today's list of top 10 scary monsters that were pretending to be human part 2, because it seems like these monsters will never quit. If you haven't seen part 1, you should go check it out right now because Abby did such an amazing job on the part 1. Make sure you stick around for the whole list because I'm going to be doing some pet shoutouts, which you love so much. If you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. And anyone at home who needs some more Most Amazing Top 10 content, check us out on Instagram and Facebook. We're starting to do Facebook exclusive content. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. At number 10, we have the Body Snatchers, an alien plant that invades Earth from space and only has one goal: to take over the planet, consume all the life, and then leave the planet dead as a doornail as the creature moves on to its next victim. The first time this monstrosity showed its face was in the book Body Snatchers in 1955. Since then, it has been transported to the silver screen again and again and again, with the most recent adaptation being in 2007 with the Nicole Kidman movie Invasion. The Body Snatchers are a plant from outer space. They release spores that infect people and put them into a deep sleep state. While they sleep, a duplicate is created that is in complete control of the Body Snatchers. The original is then disposed of, never to be seen again. The duplicate looks identical to the original in every way, right down to the scars. But the Body Snatchers have no connection to human emotion, which makes them a much deadlier enemy. They operate as a hive mind to take over an entire planet. It's safe to say by the time you find out the infection is real, it is too late. At number 9, we have the Terminator. Arnold baby, I'll be back. You are terminated. Hasta la vista baby. These are all amazing lines that were born from the amazing movie series starring one of the greatest villains of all time, a nearly unstoppable machine from the future to change the course of history, known as the Terminator. Now, is the Terminator a monster? Of course he is. He's scary, he's dangerous, and he murders without any feeling. That's a monster. This killing machine for sure fits into this list. For those of you who don't know the Terminator, he is a robot sent from the future with one mission: to kill people from the past so he can ensure the success of Skynet, which is the company who will make the artificial intelligence that develops the mind of the Terminator. There are several series of this bad boy. You got the classic T-800, who is the Terminator we all know and love. There is the T-1000, who is made up of a living metal like mercury, who added out to kill you and can take the form of any person it encounters, duplicating their features and their voice. In the most recent Terminator movie, there's an alternate future which creates the Rev 9, the most advanced Terminator that the series has ever seen. It's half skeletal Terminator and the other half is like liquid Terminator, able to split both halves into two separate weapons and can hack the internet, duplicating anyone. Basically, if this thing comes to kill you, you're done for. At number 8, we have The Thing. Another movie classic. This is one of John Carpenter's best movies, and every time I watch it, it literally creeps me out. There's something about real props that creeps the hell out of me. The Thing is an extremely resourceful creature. Through physical contact, it can spread from one person to another on a cellular level. The cells start to digest the host cells, creating new The Thing cells that will take over the body completely, making an exact duplicate of the host. The Thing is only able to copy organic material, so animals and people are its main targets. It also has the ability to shapeshift, grow claws, fangs, tentacles, and a whole bunch of weird stuff. It can consume enough organic material to grow into a massive monstrosity. Its weaknesses are fire, as it will burn every last cell, but you will have to make sure that you kill every last single one. If there's even just a little bit left, it can attach to a host and regrow. Also, it can survive extreme cold temperatures for an unknown amount of time, possibly forever. At number 7, we have the SKRULL, one of the greatest villains of the Marvel Universe. The SKRULL are an alien race that have the ability to shapeshift into other humanoids. They are masters of invasion and will take over entire planets with Skrulls, mimicking high-ranking officials by stealing their memories and moving into their lives completely. Some people will be married to a Skrull, even have children with them, and never know. Skrulls can also mimic superheroes' powers. They will usually kidnap the people they replicate so they don't have the other version running around trying to blow their cover. One of the greatest Skrulls ever, Super Skrull, has taken more than one power at a time, the entire Fantastic Four, into one body. At number 6, we have Dracula. I mean, I don't really need to go into a deep breakdown onto who this guy is. He is the king of the vampires. He is the OG. He's been blending in with people and killing them since before it was cool. His powers have changed over again and again throughout time, but here are some of the more popular ones. He has super strength, super speed, and agility, the ability to seduce and hypnotize people through eye contact. He can turn into a horde of bats and fly into the darkness. And of course, his weaknesses are sunlight, a wooden stake, and sometimes crosses. And he has a constant need to drink human blood. The legend of Dracula originally comes from the Romanian ruler Vlad the Impaler. He was known for his brutality. He would leave the bodies of impaled men outside his castle to scare off invading armies, and it said that he would dip his bread in the blood of his victims. At number 5, we have Replicants, a questionable villain from the movie Blade Runner. Replicants are human-like slaves that are grown in a lab for service purposes. They are all given expiry dates, and they are supposed to serve one purpose and that's it, which is usually some hard labor. Some of them go rogue and then are taken down by Blade Runners, who are basically cops who hunt down replicants. The only way you can tell the difference between a real person and a replicant is through the Wazonek test. This one is questionable because replicants only rebel because they want to live, but they also kill a bunch of people in the process, so it's kind of a gray area. At number 4, we have Martian Manhunter, one of the greats to come out of the DC universe. Martian Manhunter is one of the most powerful heroes to work with the Justice League in the never-ending battle against evil. Now, anyone who knows the character knows that he's a hero and probably shouldn't be on a list of scary monsters, but let me just break him down for a minute and give you my reasons why. Let's get into his powers first. He has super strength, flight, shapeshifting, telekinesis, mind reading, intangibility, durability, regeneration, extrasensory input, and in some instances heat vision. He is by far one of the most powerful creatures in the DC universe, with Superman once saying, "I can count on one hand the number of known beings in the universe that I would be afraid to face in combat." And John Johns, the Martian Manhunter, is at the top of the list. Superman said he's afraid of this dude. That means he's someone to be feared. If he was ever to go rogue, it could be the end of the world as we know it. At number 3, we have She-Mantis. In the television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer, we see all sorts of strange supernatural creatures that always have new ways of trying to kill the protagonist and her friends. Now, in the episode Teacher's Pet, we saw the writers take the teacher seducing the student fantasy and turn it on its head. One of the main characters, Xander, has a new teacher, and she is a bombshell, Miss Natalia French, and she starts to pull him in with her sultry ways. I have to admit, if I was in this position, I would fall for the same thing. Throughout the episode, we see her seduce him more and more. Xander is totally into it, while Buffy and the rest of the gang is a little suspicious. Eventually, Miss French invites Xander over so they can work on a school project. He arrives there, and just as things are about to get hot and heavy, she drugs him and then drags him into the basement, ties him up, and it's revealed that she's actually a giant praying mantis that has the ability to shapeshift into a human. Now she has Xander as her prisoner, and she's going to use him as food and a tool to reproduce. Luckily, Buffy and the rest of the crew come to save the day. Xander is saved, but probably will never trust a woman again. At number 2, we have reptilian shapeshifters. This is the conspiracy theory that popped off before all conspiracy theories were mainstream. They were the brainchild of author and former sports broadcaster David Icke. Now, they sound like something that would be pulled out of a science fiction novel, but Icke insists that they are real. He claims that reptilian shapeshifters called Anunnaki have been in control of mankind for centuries and are embedded in every high-level power on the planet. He makes claims that the entire royal family is reptilian pretending to be a person, and they want nothing more than to eat our bodies and watch us suffer. He says that they've orchestrated all major disasters in the world, and he has claimed that he's seen glimpses of them transform in person. The Anunnaki are the backbone of every shadow government, like the Illuminati and all the other ones. And they continue to control the world and manipulate humanity unless someone does something about it. I'm gonna pass on unveiling this one and just sit on my couch eating ice cream. That's what I'm gonna do. And for the number 1 spot, we have Zeus. Wait, what? Why would you put the Greek god of the skies on a list of monsters pretending to be humans? Well, for one, Zeus is transformed into a person before, mostly to try and seduce women, and he's actually a monster. Just because he lives up in the clouds doesn't mean he's a nice guy, like he's a monster inside his soul. Let's break down some of the horrible things that Zeus has done. He has always been a fan of incest, which isn't super weird among the gods, but still not very cool. He once killed his wife so he could marry another lady who was the goddess Hera. and then once he was married to Hera, he cheated on her all the time. He once turned into a swan and then raped a lady, and on top of all that, he sentenced the Titan Prometheus to have his liver eaten out by an eagle every day for eternity. Prometheus is immortal, so it'd regenerate and then it would come eat his liver out again. This is all because Prometheus gave fire to people, because he was a good dude. Literally, an eagle flies down every day to eat the guy's liver, and the next day it regenerates and it starts again. And on top of that, he's the one who gave Pandora's box to Pandora so she opened it and unleashed all the evil in the world. But Zeus is the one who gave Pandora an unrelenting need of curiosity, so he knew she would open the box and unleash evil in the world. So, pretty bad dude. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I've been Shaderana, and you gotta look around for the monsters hanging around you. Those reptilians could be anywhere.